I think a lot of people have a misconception of how important casting is for your movie. A lot of people will say that 90% of your movie is in the casting, and that is absolutely the truth. And what's so important about casting is that if you can find the right people, it makes your job as a director on set a lot easier. There are so many little incidental things that could disrupt the production that the last thing you need to be worried about is pushing or dragging your performers through a performance. So casting is so important. You know, there's lots of ways to find good actors locally. Depending on what city you live in, you probably have a film commission. And the film commissions are great because they actually, in some cases, have places where you can post casting notices and bulletins about your production. The important thing is to also make sure that you give the casting notice that you post as much information about your production as possible. It's just like if you owned a company and you were looking to hire an employee. You would need to let that employee or that potential employee know what he or she is getting themselves into. You know, the great thing is you have so many different ways locally to find actors in your community. You have, of course, online forums like Facebook that you probably can find faces of people that you're looking to cast. There's also, you can also check out your local regional theaters. Most communities have improv groups. You can also find acting workshops. There's a lot of acting coaches and talent coaches that may allow you to sit in on their workshops. And those are excellent ways to find people that could possibly be in your film. You want to make sure that you give your production a very professional look. So that way it attracts and invites professional actors. Most professional actors won't, audition or apply for casting notices that look shady or look creepy. So it's so important that you have a professional persona online or in your casting notice that attracts the right kind of people. The other thing you also want to do is don't have your auditions in your house. Try to find a place that's legit, a real business that you can actually have a professional casting thing. Go to a library, do it at a library if you don't have a business that you can do it in or an office that you can do it in. But it's so important to find a professional place to do the audition, because the last thing you want to do is try to have auditions at your house, because not only is that kind of creepy for the person coming for the audition, but it also could be kind of creepy for you because you're inviting people into your house that you have no idea who they are. As a filmmaker, I've made 5 feature films and scores of my own short films. And the one thing that I've discovered that works really well, and I kind of use it as my secret tip, I'm never at my first reads for my auditions. And what that means is I usually have a casting director or somebody who is putting on the audition for me, who actually videotapes the people auditioning. And the reason why I do that is not because I'm being arrogant or I don't think I need to be there. The reason why I do that is because when I watch and I look at a person for the first time, I want to see them on a 2-dimensional screen. I want to see them the same way that the audience is going to see them for the very first time. Because I have a different impression of somebody when I'm sitting in a room with them versus when I'm seeing them on screen. And then I go in for the second read, and that way I can give them direction to see if they're, basically directable. But I find that has worked extremely well for me in my casting process.